Welcome back to Mik'd Up. That was enthusiastic. I appreciate that. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We are proud to have Joe Schwartz, Assistant Director of Basketball Operations. I'm willing to bet that there's not a guy or girl around the basketball program outside of Kim Mulkey that's more knowledgeable about LSU Women's Basketball than this guy right here, Joe Schwartz. So, Joe, thanks for coming in the studio, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping the workout early. If you stopped the workout early, I'm glad you were able to get your workout in before you came in.
It was chest day today, so.
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
You can always in that one. We don't skip leg day though.
I would say you can always skip. You can always make leg day.
I would agree. That's where I would go.
All right. Women's basketball is 18-0. Angel Reese has 18 double-doubles. Y'all just blew the doors off of Auburn at home by 30 points. Simone Augustus has her statue. What's the vibe like right now? Because it seems like everybody outside of LSU is finally starting to give LSU the flowers that they deserve. What's the vibe like inside the program? Obviously, Kim runs a tight ship. I'm sure she's got all the girls focused, but what are you feeling or what are you seeing over there?
I think the biggest thing right now, and the message that we've got to get across to our girls, because, the 18-0 is great, ranked number 3 in the country. We haven't arrived. And, we say that. People can throw that around, but in the grand scheme of things, all we've done is won 18 games. And we're thrilled. Whether we win by
How many have you lost?
0.
Okay.
But whether you win by 25 or win by single digits, wins are wins, and you're never going to take those for granted. But we've got to keep getting better, and that comes every day in practice. Practice needs to be better. We're still turning the ball over too much. It was nice to finally be down in single-digit turnovers against Auburn, because we had 25 against Kentucky, a couple games in the high teens, but we've just got to keep getting better. And we've got a tough game coming up Thursday, Arkansas, kind of a revenge game for them. We went up to their place to open conference, beat them by 20-plus. But they're a tough team, well coached. And I think just staying focused is the main thing for the girls.
What's the challenges of doing that? You got a group that's fairly new with each other. You've reached new heights in a program that hasn't seen a team do something like this before. What are the challenges of keeping a group like this kind of hungry and kind of continuing to go and keep ascending the way they are?
It sounds very cliche, but follow the leader. I mean, it obviously takes an army to do what we're doing right now, and that army is our staff, it's our managers, it's our training staff, doctors, it's the fan support. But our general, Kim Mulkey, that's who we got to follow. And she's a Hall of Famer for a reason. She's won 3 national championships as a coach for a reason, a head coach, I should say. Yeah. So she's been there before. Coach Starkey has been to Final Fours. We've got very experienced staff members who have done things in men's and women's college basketball that these girls can only dream of. But if we follow the people at the top of our staff, that's how we're going to get to the promised land. Obviously, the girls have to produce on the court, but when Coach walks into the locker room every day, there's just a sense of urgency and a sense of energy that is unmatched. And our staff feeds off of that. She will challenge the staff, y'all can't have a bad day today. And that's every day. Because if our players see the staff slacking, then they think it's okay for them to take a day off. And kind of to talk about what goes on in our locker room, at Simone's statue unveiling the other day, Coach Starkey was talking about how good of a player Simone was on the court. There's no doubt. She was phenomenal. Great jump shot, great defender, knew the game well. But he said that was because of what she did every day in practice. She was the best practice player. She was the best teammate. And I think, sometimes you can get stagnant middle of the season, 18-0. Sometimes doesn't feel like we're playing the best competition. People want to just roast us for our non-conference schedule. Well, we're back to number 2 in the net.
I was about to say, aren't y'all number 2 in the net?
Number 2 in the net rankings and number 3 in the AP rankings. So take that with a grain of salt.
You have Arkansas Thursday, right? And then you have
Bama
on Monday. So you're going to go through about a gauntlet of a schedule. And then you have the big one. Obviously, everybody has this one circle with South Carolina on February 12th, right? So that's still a few weeks away. You still have what is happening? She's doing some producer stuff.
Something making noise.
Okay. But you have a little ways until you get to that point. But that's the game that everybody has circled. That's the game that I'm sure is going to be on ESPN. That's going to be prime time. Probably going to be number 1 versus number 2. if y'all keep playing the way you're playing right now, obviously that's far away. They want to stay focused on the task at hand. I understand that. Mm-hmm. What has been the one thing that you've noticed? You said obviously you got to stop turning the ball over. You got to play a little bit better. But what's been the one thing that you've noticed on the court that has made the girls so successful and made them, get to the point where they're at right now? Where, I don't know. Y'all probably expected it, but not really anybody else outside of basketball expected y'all to be.
Obviously the expectations coming into the season were very high, but we've got, I wouldn't say simple goals when we go into a game, but I'd say rebounding. That's been one of the big highlights. Our rebound margin per game, I think still top 5 in the country. Our field goal percentage defense, so what opposing teams are shooting, that's been phenomenal. We like to hold teams under 40% a game, and we've been doing that pretty much every game. And I think just playing hard because we've got, like you said, we have such a new group of players from a standpoint of they haven't played together for more than 18 games. A lot of these kids came from different programs, different systems, but to see their buy-in has been the coolest thing because you've got kids that played at SEC schools, you've got kids that played at JUCO, Big Ten, and they all come from different coaching backgrounds, different philosophies, but the fact that they've been able to buy in and really hone in on what Coach Mulkey wants us to do on a daily basis, I think it speaks volumes to them. We can't control every shot that we shoot, whether it goes in or not. We'd love to make every shot, right, but we can't control that. We can control turning the ball over because going back and watching film, a lot of our turnovers in the past couple games have just been us not taking care of the ball. It's nothing that the other team's really doing special. Kentucky kind of got us in the fourth quarter with their press at their place. We had 10 turnovers in, I think, the last 8.5 minutes of the game. But I think when you really start to focus on the small details, holding teams under a certain amount of points per game, getting to the free throw line has been something that we've done a great job of. And it's something that we're going to continue to emphasize because we may not have a great free throw shooting percentage, but we're getting to the line a lot. I think a few games ago we had like a plus 22 free throw margin, and if you're getting to the line that many times, that means you have opportunities to score that many more points than the other team.
I've noticed, obviously, the day and age is NIL and all this kind of stuff, right? You kind of notice players are allowed to show their personality a lot more than they have in the past because now they can monetize themselves because of the NIL stuff, right? It seems like Coach Mulkey is the best. I don't want to say the best, but she's up there in the sense of allowing these players to be able to show who they actually are, show their personality and how they play on the field and the things that they do off the field, as long as it brings, good brand towards the university, right? Like, is it Floje, the rapper, right? Like she does the deal where she goes through like the after practice and like she has like she raps her the way through the locker room. Like, there's not a lot of coaches, I believe, that would allow their players to do that, and it feels like Kim's kind of understands, the balance of, okay, this is basketball, but this is also life, and I gotta if I want these girls to buy in, I have to be able to mix both. She seems like she does a very good job of that.
She definitely does, but it also doesn't hurt that we've got the biggest brand in the country and the best fan base in the country. Yesterday, and I keep going back to Simone's statue because it's something that I've never seen before. I've been to some pretty cool events. I saw Coach Mulkey get put into the Hall of Fame and Michael Jordan walk her up on stage. That was incredible. I've been to World Series. But to see Simone Augustus, because you hear about Simone, number 33, they went to all these Final Fours, but the number of people, not just women's basketball fans, not just Simone's family and friends, not just alumni. We had over 100 alumni from LSU Women's Basketball's past at the different receptions yesterday. But to see the city of Baton Rouge, and really probably people from all over the state of Louisiana, to come out and support Simone, I think that just speaks volumes to the type of fan base that we have. So when it comes to an NIL standpoint, these players, these athletes are phenomenal. They wouldn't be at LSU if they didn't have the talent. But their off-the-court abilities, whether that's their communication skills, whether that's their personality, whether that's their individual ability to network with people in the community. Because we're not the ones going out to get the NIL deals for them. They're the ones that are meeting people. LSU puts these opportunities in front of them. And as a coach, you love to see it because Kim Mulkey is one of the best networkers that I've ever met. I mean, I've never seen someone be able to walk into a room, whether it's a group of lawyers, whether it's a group of doctors, whether it's a group of businessmen going to speak at a Chamber of Commerce event. People engage and people listen, and their eyes are wide open when she walks in a room, and it feeds off to her players. So one thing we emphasize is, basketball is important. That's the forefront. We've got all these goals, but you've got to be a great student because student comes before athlete. You've got to take care of your grades. And then with this NIL marketplace, so to speak, go get your money.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's money out there to be made and you're a college athlete, hell, if I was a college athlete, I would have.
You were?
I was, but if I were a college athlete now, I'd be figuring out any way to make money.
Speaking of college athlete,
it's not like you've been brainwashed.
I mean, you went to Texas.
In the best way possible.
Texas, they're in a little pickle there with their situation. They got going on.
No comment?
He can't even look straight on that one. That's a tough one. Oh.
You know,
Yeah, I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
No. And it's not that. It's not that. They are in a little bit of a pickle.
They're still good.
They're very good.
It's still good, yeah.
And I will say, Rodney Terry, the current head coach, or the interim head coach right now, is doing a phenomenal job with them. To take over where he had to take over, I mean, I think they're 7-1.
Put out the fire he had to put out, too, yeah.
They're 7-1 or 8-1. They've had 2 big wins. And I know this isn't a UT talk show and don't really want to toot that horn much.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah, they're
very
good.
LSU men's basketball, I don't think that people are going to get mad about you talking about Texas because men's basketball right now they're in a little bit of a dark place.
Well, to that point, the SEC men's, it's a gauntlet.
It has gotten
and
they're going through it right now.
But Coach McMahon, they're going to be fine.
They are. It's just tough. He needs some time, and that's what I'm glad you're saying that because that's going to segue into my next question. Like, he needs some time to put his culture in place, allow his guys to develop. Right now, they have some guys that can score. Adam Miller's got to figure out how to be able to consistently score. You need 2 scorers, and you got to figure out how to be able to stop getting out rebounded by the bigger teams. Right, like Alabama would shoot a 3, rebound it, offensive rebound, kick it back out, shoot another 3, offensive rebound, kick it back out. They would get 2 or 3, 4 chances. Right. You got to figure that out.
It's pool basketball.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that really stuck out to me. Yeah, Bama was hot. They shot lights out the other night, but it was the amount of threes that they took. I think they took 41 threes in the first half. I mean, that's insane for a team. They made 14, I think. But you got to rebound. And I'm not going to talk
listen.
much about it. But to my point, like, they're going to be fine. The difference between us and our staff is we inherited a great group.
Right.
Coach McMahon,
0 people.
Right?
Yeah.
So
we were staring Parker Edwards down the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, he potentially could have been a starter.
Yeah,
like that was it.
Yeah. He didn't come here to do
and
that.
Look,
Brandon and Parker and Adam, the 3 walk-ons, basically were really all that was left.
And they have 2 really good 5-stars that are on the bench. Now they're young, they're freshmen. They got to figure out how to play in this league. Obviously, the SEC is a lot better of a basketball conference than it has been of the last 5 years. They've been good, but past that, they were kind of up and down. You had a couple good teams, and then middle of the road pack after that. But you got to be able to play defense. You got to be able to figure out how to score because the talent is so good. Now, the whole reason I bring that up is Kim talks about. She said it recently in an interview that it takes 2 to 3 years to build a sustainable program.
Yep.
Right? It takes 2 or 3 classes to bring in to build that program. Obviously, she inherited a good group of girls. They made it to the second round.
Yep, lost in the second round.
Lost in the second round last year. First year after they only won single digits. I don't even 9 wins.
Year before.
They won before.
Alexis was hurt last year for the NCAA tournament, so that's second leading scorer out.
Right, and so
don't tell Dawn.
They get to the second round. This year they're undefeated, 3 in the country. It seems like they are one of the favorites to at least make it to the finals. Right, at least make it to the Final Four. Go there. She comes out and says it takes 2 to 3 years of classes. She's had 1. She needs another one to build the sustainable program. Are they outperforming what even she thought that maybe this team could do? Because she's brought in a bunch of talent. Now she has a bunch of talent coming in next year. Mm-hmm. Have they outperformed what she expected?
I don't know if outperformed is the right word. Are we surprised? A little bit. But our internal goals are to win championships. And it's funny because this morning I wake up and one of the first notifications on my phone was AP Top 25. And it said, for the first time since 2004, Baylor women's basketball is out of the top 25.
Yep.
So Kim took a program over 2 years ago that won 9 ball games. Here we are halfway through the second season, and we're ranked number 3 in the country. You can't tell me that Kim Mulkey hasn't had an impact, and it shows that one person can have a major impact on a program. And she built something at Baylor that maybe only Pat Summitt did at Tennessee, Gino did at UConn. Outside of that, I mean,
Yeah.
and she did it for a long time. And I think they had a stretch of like 21 weeks where they were number 1 in the country during that stint at Baylor. But for her to come here and do what she's done in 2 years or year and a half, it's special. And her impact is kind of resonating throughout not only Baton Rouge and the state of Louisiana, but the country.
Well, not even just women's basketball. I think her personality and the way she goes about her business, I think it rubs off on a lot of the other coaches that she comes in contact with at LSU.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of special now that I'm getting to see as a player. When I was in college, I would always go to Texas volleyball. Quite the atmosphere. I mean, sellouts every game. I think they won the national championship this year. I'd go to swimming events. All my friends were student athletes, so I was going to all the sporting events. I think now the coaches that Scott has put in place at LSU are here to stay. I mean, you look at Tanya Johnson, what she did with volleyball this year after not really having a great squad. They kind of had to piece that together. Brian Kelly, who would have thought after the Florida State game we were going to win 10 games? And you won emphatically that 10th game. I mean, you dominated the bowl game. You beat Bama at home. You had some big wins this year, and that momentum's going to carry on. Look at Jay Johnson with baseball. High expectations this year. Gymnastics, like I said, I was at the meet today. They've got a lot of injuries, but they went toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country who won the national championship last year. Track and field's going to be good. I'm sure the golf team's going to be good.
This guy's an advocate at LSU right now.
No, it's just it's like
he's lobbying for the president.
Cutting a promo.
It's just like when you're out of school like this, the sports teams feed off of each other. It's like the momentum has not stopped since that. What was it, Monday night in New Orleans when we lost to Florida State. It's just been going and going and going. And here we are halfway through January in a pretty good spot. And I think it was really special. Obviously, there were a lot of other things going on yesterday surrounding our program. But to see 11,475 people at our game, the 5th largest crowd in LSU women's basketball history, on a Sunday with no well, there were students there, but not fully back yet.
School hasn't started yet.
School hasn't started yet. Yeah. So, what's gonna happen when Arkansas comes to town Thursday night? There should not be a letdown. I know it's a late game. I know it's 8:00, and some of our fans might be a little bit older. But students, Thursday nights are the nights to go out. Come to our game from 8 to 10, and then go out.
Yeah, they sell beer, right?
They sell beer. They sell alcohol pregame.
Joe will take you on the golf cart.
Potentially, yeah. It might take a while. I'd love to see. I'll tell you, the coolest experience I've had at LSU, aside from just all the love we get from our fans and that, was when we walked out of the tunnel against Ohio State, NCAA tournament last year, second round. We look up, and the student section sold out. There were texts coming from the fire marshal like, hey, we can't keep letting students in. But why can't
tell it to Kim.
Yeah, exactly. And they let them all in. It was standing room only. But why can't we have that for a Thursday night game in mid-January?
Right.
Why can't we have it for Tennessee on January 30th? 6 o'clock ESPN2 game, like whiteout. So my challenge to the students, because college is fun and you can go out, you can do all these things, but
drop a class.
Yeah, if you're struggling, you can drop a class. But why not get a group of friends and go to a sporting event?
Yeah.
If you don't like women's basketball, you probably haven't been to one of our games, because there's been many of my friends that, I'm not coming to a women's basketball game. They come, and then they want to come again. Oh, can I get tickets again? Well, tickets are going quick. There's no season tickets left in the lower bowl. So if you want to get tickets, or if you want to come to a game, you better start now, because that wait list is going to get longer and longer. But I think, and I told it to our girls the other day, I sent them a text. So that was special today. I mean, walking out and seeing Simone's statue about to be unveiled, and just the crowd around it.
People.
It was crazy. It was awesome.
And you had people on the roof of the gymnastics building. You had people at the track, up the ramps. It was standing room only. And Then the reception we had after in our practice facility, standing room only. The fans at the game, I mean, we're building something special.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about it, but we want the students to be a part of it. And we've got a good, solid core. I know the Balcony Bengals have been phenomenal as far as getting to games. They are absolutely crazy. I know our student section is right by the opposing team's bench, and the opposing teams hate our student section. Good. They should.
Great.
When I was in college and I sat on the end of the bench, I had to hear it from start to finish from OU fans, Kansas fans, Baylor fans. Like, that's what college athletics is all about. So if you're a student at LSU, go to a men's game. Go to a women's game. Enjoy it while you can, because those 4 or 5, maybe 6 years are going to go by fast, and you're going to look back and
6, Coach. What, Jesus Christ.
Right.
A lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
yeah.
Or Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. Or that dude from Oregon, I saw he just got granted his 9th and 10th year.
There's no way he's going to accept that, huh?
Like, it's crazy.
Is he a basketball guy? Football guy?
No, the football guy.
9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 times.
But wait,
9
times.
talk to us about this, because I think, so for me, like, I'm hearing this conversation, and I think you're 100% right. Like, people don't realize how much coaching matters until you realize, oh shit, coaching matters, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of, like you said, like, okay, if we can completely move ourselves away from saying it was all Kim. Baylor's unranked for the first time since 04. This team who won 9 games 2 years ago is a top 3 team now. There has to be some sort of thing going on there. You spoke about earlier how she is all about energy, and she preaches that. What's her way of going about doing it? Like, everyone's got their. We've all been around the people that are so energetic, so they're always up and going. What's her way of going about doing it? Like, how does she do it? How does she bring that energy and that feel to every day, really? Like, how does she do it?
She honestly, she wants the best for the kids. She's experienced everything that a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach should ever get to experience.
You can tell that when you look at her post game interviews with the players on the stage with her. Yeah, like the way they kind of interact together and laugh and like kind of have like the inside jokes. Like,
Right.
Coach, show her up 20 and she's grabbing Angel Reese and going nose to nose with her.
She holds everyone to an extremely high standard, and that's from Coach Starkey, who's our associate head coach, who has spent more time at LSU than any of us.
He was in the building during when we gave us the tour, and Starkey's still in the building.
Yep. And then, well, that's a difference. I mean, the man does not sleep. He'll be in the office at 4 a.m. and then I'll look up and he's posting something on Instagram at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 6 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, midnight, 2 a.m. He's still like, I don't know when he sleeps, but it starts with Kim. Her energy feeds off to Coach Starkey, and then you have someone like Coach G, who I don't know how he has all the energy that he does, but I mean, that man, there's never no energy with him. He comes in every day, and it just feeds off. It's so contagious right now, just to see what's going on in our program, but it starts with the boss. And she can't do it alone. I mean, it takes a lot, and there's days where she might not feel the best. And there may be days where she says, hey, Coach Starkey, I need you to do this, this, and this. Or assistant coaches, y'all take over. She may not want me to share, but she wasn't feeling great yesterday. She texted our staff and said, I need y'all to be on y'all's best today. I don't feel great.
Pick me up.
There's a lot going on right now. There's allergies, respiratory stuff. Yeah. I don't sound great. But
I don't feel good.
But that's the stuff I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like, she could have easily just said, hey, I'll show up today and, kind of get through it and do what I got. But she was like, no. Let me nip this in the bud. Yeah. I'm letting y'all know I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Y'all have to do this today.
Right.
Letting you know. Pick me up right now, which is awesome.
And I'm telling you, yesterday there were so many distractions, potential distractions.
Right.
You've got the statue being unveiled. They wanted all the staff to be at the pre-unveiling ceremonies. Well, normally we get to the game about an hour and a half before the game, make sure the girls are ready to go. So there were a lot of moving pieces yesterday. And to see how smoothly things ran, obviously there were some hiccups here and there within our program that aren't nothing major, but we didn't play a perfect game yesterday. But there was every excuse for us to lay an egg yesterday, and I thought we played great. I think there were obviously areas where we could have been better.
Yeah, she didn't like that you.
They didn't score 100.
But a 30-point win against an SEC team, you're not going to complain.
30-point win against anybody, I feel like is something that you're like, okay, we're gonna, we did good. Now, obviously, there's always something you can get better at.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her so good is she never She never gets complacent. She always strives for excellence, right?
Yep.
What's something that she tells and she kind of like? What's her biggest message that she relays to staff, the players, that you hear it all the time? You're like, this is kind of thing. But then the more you go through it, the more you realize, all right, this shit actually matters.
It's just showing up every day. You can't take a day off. And she always talks about the last time you're going to take off the jersey. You don't know when you're going to get hurt. You don't know when your last game is going to be. Nowadays, you have a little bit of an idea because you're either going to be a graduating senior as a fourth year, you might get that fifth year. But until you play your last game, you don't really realize how quickly it comes to an end. I remember the last time I took off my high school jersey. I was fortunate enough to get to college and continue to put a jersey on. Y'all played pro ball. Y'all know what it's like to take it off for the last time.
All three of us.
Yeah. Intramurals probably.
Yeah. I got a UREC shirt, coach. I mean, intramural champion.
I mean, it's a tough realization, and it's hard to imagine when the last time you're going to do it is, but tomorrow's not promised. That's one thing she's really been talking about lately. Look at DeMar Hamlin's situation. There's so many different examples that you can choose from, and that's the other thing about her. She's such an intellectual person. She reads the news, she watches the news, she sees what's going on around the country, not only in sports but in life. And almost every day, if not every day, she brings some sort of off the court lesson into the locker room. Our group text is nonstop blowing up. I mean, hell, some of our assistant coaches like to call me the news reporter because every time something pops up on Twitter or I see it, I'm the first one to send it in, and they're like, chill with the news. Like, if we have an off day, don't hit the group text today. So I think it's just her ability to connect with the girls and realize that little orange ball that you get to dribble and shoot every day, that's going to stop at some point. Whether you get to go to the WNBA and have an illustrious career, that's everyone's goal that plays college athletics. You want to be a pro. But for the ones who may not be fortunate enough to do it, and do it in a manner that is so luxurious, that's the other thing. The college athletics right now has got to be the best
it's ever been.
The best it's ever been.
Oh, no doubt. You
make
a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can set yourself up for a long time.
For a long, long time, because you're not going to have it any better than you do now. You're not going to have everyone on a staff telling you, hey, you need to be here at this time. We're giving you these sweats, this top to wear. Here's a new pair of shoes. We're taking a charter bus. We're flying on an extremely nice plane. I mean, Kramer flew with us, I think, 2 trips ago, and he was like, this is almost as nice as some of the big league planes I fly on.
Texas A&M forgets their uniform.
And we've got the best managers in the country who would never let that happen. I mean, our managers, like, there could be a drop of sweat on the other end of the court, and you'll see 8 managers sprinting, diving on the floor to wipe it up. But
everybody's held accountable.
Yeah. You have. It's the only way that the ship can sail.
I mean, obviously, she's building something extremely special. They play on Thursday. What time?
We play at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
8 o'clock on Thursday in Baton Rouge at the PMAC. Go ahead and support the girls because they need it. Obviously, they're very good. It's a very good product. Arkansas is a good team. It's going to be a challenge. They need all the help they can get. I would like to see them back in the Final Four in that championship, win it, because obviously 2004, 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
They made it there. That was like right when I was about to get to LSU, and so it was exciting. It was great to watch them do it. So I'm glad to see that they are there and that they're on the track to get back to what that was. And I think that they're going to exceed all those things. Dude, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
I kind of the last thing I would say, and I was thinking about this today driving over here, it's the higher that number gets in the rankings, I guess lower technically because 1 would be the lowest, but the highest ranking, the closer you get to number 1, the bigger that target's going to get. And as we found out in SEC football, as we found out in SEC basketball, SEC baseball, you can lose on any given night. So that target's just going to be getting bigger and bigger. It's very well known that a lot of schools in the SEC don't like LSU. There's a lot of people in the country that don't like LSU. So that target's going to be big. And like I mentioned earlier, that challenge for us to continue to fill the PMAC, I mean, there's no reason we shouldn't be getting 10,000 plus at every game, 11,000, 12,000. And then by the end of this season, I mean, let's sell it out a couple times.
Let's do it.
Our kids deserve it. The coaching staff deserve it. And that's the last thing I want to give a shout out to Coach Starkey, because yesterday what he did, and I'm not sure, I'll text it to one of y'all, the link to his speech for Simone was absolutely incredible. He nailed it. And one thing to your point about Coach Mulkey, she decided she wanted to take a step back yesterday. She wasn't at LSU when Simone was there.
No,
she beat Simone.
She was beating her.
She was beating her in the Final Four, but that just shows what type of person Coach Mulkey is. She didn't want to be in the spotlight yesterday. She said, Coach Starkey, you have all the stories about Simone. You recruited Simone. Like, it's yours. And Coach Starkey took it and ran with it. So OG, as we like to call him, he needs to get his flowers.
Does he know what that means?
Oh, yeah. He's OG.
He seems like he's in the know.
He's the OG.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much positive momentum going.
Well, you can come here and cut a promo anytime you want about women's basketball because I follow it. I follow it not as closely as I probably should, but I follow it. I do want to. We've talked to you about this.
Yep.
I am going to try to go to some games.
So that was my next question. I get 4 tickets to every game, and they're good seats.
All right.
So Thursday night, you can bring your wife.
He's getting married.
Yeah,
in Cabo.
Yeah.
So
Tough.
I didn't get invited.
Will not be in town.
When I come back in town, we'll do it.
When we come back, I'm in.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm in. I'm told. As long as the game's on Monday or Wednesday, I'm in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because we
only play Thursdays, Sundays, and some Monday. Alabama we play on a Monday
Perfect.
night.
So I'm in. I do want to come to the game.
What about Tennessee game, January 30th? It's a Monday. You said no Monday?
Yeah, the show.
Well, we did the show. We could do the show from.
No, that wouldn't work.
What?
Well, how are you gonna be able to hear me?
It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be loud.
What time does the game start?
6:00 that night.
We can figure it out.
We'll try to figure it out. We'll see what we got.
But no, a lot of positive momentum going right now.
Yeah. I mean, I can.
When we get back in town, we'll come.
Yeah, we'll be there.
That's the plan.
We'll be there.
I'm going.
I'm guaranteed.
We got plenty of games left. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we're 6.
You
We'll
talk
catch a
about
Thursday night
plenty.
game.
You talk about plenty of games. Obviously, the biggest one on the schedule is a road game.
Yeah, it is, but
I know you can't look ahead.
and it's hard to look
But
ahead.
does
But
it feel like
everyone's
y'all
looking
are-
ahead.
Feels like you're going to be undefeated going into that one. And Don
Well-
Staley has emptied the clip on Kim Mulkey and missed every shot. Sometimes it'd be like that.
And sometimes it be like that. We just one game at a time, and that's another thing. You got the girls. We don't want them to look ahead. They know what's coming. They know what's in the future. But
You got
If
some
you
dogs, Coach.
Angel Reese said it best, Coach. You got some dogs on your hands.
Yes.
That deep, that strict, deep Baltimore accent. I mean, I go to war with Angel Reese any day of the week.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see them
Yeah.
Omar
for the
coming.
matchup. It's gonna be great.
Hopefully we can keep doing the show till like late March. I mean, early April maybe. That would
I
be.
would love it.
That would
Where
be
is
ideal.
the Final Four this year?
Dallas, Texas.
Wow,
That's an easy trip. That's an easy trip for us,
easy
Coach.
trip. Easy trip.
Unfortunately, I don't know how this just happened to work out. The SEC tournament's in Greenville, South Carolina. The 2 regionals, one is in, I believe, Seattle. The other one's in South Carolina. I don't know how it worked out.
Oh,
They get the
shocking.
SEC tournament and the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, but whatever.
Whatever.
Take us wherever you need to go. We'll go ahead and win. That's part of it, dude. I appreciate you, bro.
No, we appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you coming on. You
Thursday.
can cut a promo here anytime you
8
want.
o'clock.
8 o'clock.
I got you.
Let's go.
What happened?
I'm
You
getting
just
a-
secured a ticket to the game on Thursday.
There you go. You're in.
I'm in.
You're in.
Coach did get onto the staff about not giving their tickets away. She goes, I keep looking up and there's not people in those seats. Y'all better give your tickets away.
Dude, how much does she? Is that a thing every time? Because Jordy tells a story of they went to Gino's. It was like a Thursday, 11 a.m. and they were like doing a lunch meeting or whatever. And Kim Mulkey walks. He goes, "Well, I know y'all got money because y'all at Gino's at 11
Yeah.
o'clock." And
Why
she's
haven't you
like,
bought
"When
season
when I
tickets?"
come back here, I'll just see y'all got season tickets."
Uh-huh.
And they said everybody there like felt like they had to get their phone out and get season tickets.
And
like,
they did.
I'm coming to come check on you. And they're like, she wasn't bluffing.
No.
She went back to the table and was like, show me that she bought season tickets. They're like, I'm terrified right now.
And this is one thing we can use in recruiting is the number of season tickets sold. I mean, we're well over 5,000
And
right
she
now.
still boots to the
Oh,
ground.
got to. We got to be. I mean, because what that shows recruits is that we're not satisfied with 5,000
This
tickets
ain't
sold.
bullshit.
I mean, we're trying to build something very, very special. And I'm telling you, this class of 24
Oh, my
that we
God.
have, 23 class is phenomenal. We've got some of the best players in the country coming. I think all 4 of them have been named
McDonald's
to-
All-Americans.
to nominated for the McDonald's game. So they haven't been selected yet, but nominated. And then the class of 24, we've got our eyes on some big time people, and Word on the street is we might get a couple commits pretty soon.
Heyo.
Love it.
So
Hate to break news over here.
Let us know. We'll break it for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
You
then
know Mik'd
have
Up's got us.
Yeah, and then you have the spelling bee champ, that like 8th grader that is maybe the best basketball player of all time. That she won the spelling bee, I think from New Orleans, correct?
Yes, from New
I don't
Orleans.
know if you could talk about this. I don't
Can't
wanna
really-
put you in
can't really
that
talk
spot.
Can't
about
talk
it.
about recruits. Come on.
I
you're
know,
in
but she's
trouble.
like 12. I feel like it's okay. I don't even know if she wants to play basketball or not. But that's where you're trending now, because LSU was in the doldrums until Kim got here, and it shows you that coaches coach.
I'm telling you, last thing I'll say, and then I know we're wrapping it up. She's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Michael Jordan.
The fact that that school back in Waco, my hometown, let LSU have her, we could not be better for me. I mean, I love it here. Our staff loves it here. All they had to do was put her name on the court. She deserved it. Put a statue up, anything. But here we are at LSU. Simone just got her statue up.
Really think about that.
Sylvia might get a statue put up.
Might.
She deserves one.
100%.
There's a lot of people lobbying for different things to go on at LSU, but I mean, the woman's a winner.
PMAC
Yeah.
or some
The Kim Mulkey Assembly Center.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, they just make it Kim Mulkey court and get all that over with.
Yeah. So
Man, a lot of good things happen.
it's fun.
So much fun.
I
It's fun.
appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you coming on. You can stay on.